Thought this might make for a nice video. There's my very nice red Lincoln Town car sitting there. Here's the Mercedes. Here's Pepper. Hey, Pepper. What's up? Yeah, the car's a mess. I need to clean it out. That's broke down. It's not quite broke down. It's more like, I'm pretty sure the fuel pump's going out. I at least got it here to Corsicana. So, or to a friend's lake house. And it broke down. So we're waiting on a tow truck to come get it. And take it back to Waxahachie. Where, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. But, there you go. Pretty Lincoln. Always looks good. Whatever. Can you see the tow truck back there? Towing the Mercedes. Here's Pepper. Enjoying her time in the car. So, oh man. Let me get on the road here. Roll the windows up. I'll tell you the story about what happened to the Lincoln Town car. Well, this may or may not work while I'm going down the highway here. Let me turn this down a little bit. So, if you can tell, I'm in the Mercedes. I brought the Mercedes down to rescue the Lincoln. So the car that I bought to replace the Mercedes is being rescued by the car that it's supposed to replace. Something like that. Anyway, so I think it's the fuel pump. Not 100% sure. I was going to throw parts at it today, but there's more rain on the way for Texas. So doing that is not possible. Now the car is clean. You saw it run and drive. It's a decent car. However, it broke down. It didn't really break down. I mean, it broke down, but it didn't leave me on the side of the road. You know? Well, actually, it did it first. So, what had happened was, as my friend Josh is so keen to say, I went yesterday. I bought the car day before yesterday, which was Saturday. Today's Memorial Day. I bought the car day before yesterday, and I drove it home to Waxahachie. I drove it from Cleburne to Burleson to get the money. I rode with the guy that I bought the car from. Excuse me. Then we drove back to Cleburne. And then I drove from Cleburne to Waxahachie. Had no problem with the car. Kind of cruised town a little bit with it, as I want to do with my luxury cars. And then, apparently, because I've done it with the Cadillac and now the Lincoln too. So, and then I took it to the yard and I parked it. Well, the reason I parked it at the yard was because I need the room to get the Mercedes ready to be sold. That was the plan. But I had a party that I was invited to yesterday, a little Memorial Day get-together at a friend's house out on a lake. And I am not a Ford guy. I am a Chevy guy. I have a number of cars. I'm not going to say how many because it's a little embarrassing that I have this kind of a problem. But I have a number of cars. And all of those cars, except for this Mercedes and that Lincoln, are Chevrolet cars. So, this Lincoln is my first Ford. My friend, whose house I was going to for the party, is a Ford person. And I was excited, basically, to show her my Ford. So, because I knew she would flip a shit because I bought a Ford. So, I went down to the yard, I picked up the Lincoln, I turned around and I drove, I picked it up and I drove down to Corsicana, because their lake house is near Corsicana. So I drove down to Corsicana, and I get to Corsicana, and all of a sudden the car just like quits. Like, not quits, but it goes from being able to accelerate hard on the car. Because I mean, the car was running great, I'm not gonna lie. It was running 90, 100 miles an hour. The car just goes to the point where it just wouldn't accelerate. It was still running, but it wouldn't accelerate. So, that's not good. So I managed to limp it off the highway. It happened to be the exact exit that I needed to take to go to their lake house. And so I get it off the exit. I get it into the Chick-fil-A parking lot in Corsicana. And I pull it over, and I call my friend. I say, hey, where are you? She was on her way. Her husband was already at the house. She was on her way. And I said, hey, where are you? And she goes, I'm in Ennis. You know, they live somewhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm not going to say where. I'm very secretive about that stuff. Just security reasons. Anyway, so she says they, you know, she's in Ennis. I said, well, can you? I said, good, I need your help. She goes, what happened? And I hadn't told her what kind of car I had bought yet. You know, because I knew it was going to be hilarious for her to see what I got. So she goes, what happened? I said, well, the car that I just bought broke down. She goes, what kind of car is it? I said, I'm not going to tell you. And, you know, we'd already talked a little bit that day. So I'm not going to tell you. And she was just like, come on, just tell me. She guessed eventually that I bought a Lincoln Town car. Because that's just the kind of person I am. I like Cadillacs. I like Lincoln Town cars. I like Imperials. You know, big luxury boats. I love those things. And so I like sedans a lot more than I like sports cars. I like sports cars, but I like sedans more than I like sports cars. So she kind of guessed what car it was. So she pulls up, and she just starts laughing about the fact that this is my very first Ford, and it broke down. And of course, we're laughing about it. I thought it was an alternator, because I had a battery light on the dashboard. So we ran off, got an alternator, and tools, because I didn't have any tools with me, and she didn't either. And we ran back to the Lincoln, and I replaced the alternator, which I'm very impressed about the placement of the alternator on this car. It's an amazing place. I think it took me 10 minutes to do the alternator on the car. It's just incredible. So, get the alternator replaced. Car starts right up. Car wouldn't run. It would start, but it wouldn't run. And so I was thinking the battery had enough to start it, which doesn't make any sense to me now that I say it. The battery had enough to start it, but not enough to keep it running. So, you know, I was like, alternator. So I get an alternator, put the alternator in, the car runs. That's the problem. Let's go. So we head out, and what ended up happening was the car would give me about 2 seconds of throttle time. So I get 2 seconds of throttle time, and then it would cut out. And then 2 seconds of throttle time, and then it would cut out. And then 2 seconds of throttle time, and then it would cut out. And it just kept doing that for like 20 miles. Like I limped it from Corsicana to their lake house. And it took me like it took us a while, and my friend followed me. Flashers going the whole time to the lake house and everything. We get to the lake house, and I parked it. And I ended up just, you know, I sat around for the rest of the day. And I'm just like, I just don't want to mess with it. I already tried to fix it once, and that wasn't it. I sat around and thought about it most of the day, you know, and enjoyed myself generally. But, you know, we chit-chatted, and we talked about different things, but just, you know, sat around and thought about it. And so we went out about the time we were leaving just to tinker with it, see if maybe we could get it started. Maybe it would run, you know, because you never know. It's a car with a lot of electronics on it. Maybe it would run right or whatever, and couldn't get it done. So I've been thinking it's a mass airflow sensor, throttle position sensor. There's an EGR pressure sensing something or other sensor, but I'm really leaning towards the fuel pump. So I have it on the back of a rollback going to a mechanic in Waxahachie because I'm pretty sure it's the fuel pump. So I do that. While it's there, I'll go ahead and have them look at the AC because it's not working. We'll see about getting the AC going. But anyway, so yep, the Mercedes is kicked in one more time to try to save this car, this Lincoln. And it might be a good idea for me to hang on to the Mercedes for a little while, just, you know, until the Lincoln really proves itself. And so I may end up putting a little money into the Mercedes. It'd be better. It's one of those situations where they're really rare, but it's one of those situations where if I do put the money into the Mercedes and get, you know, do the brakes, do the rubber parts, you know, pieces or whatever, get somebody who can do it, you know, take the time to, you know, to get it done or whatever, I could probably sell the car for a lot more than what I'm asking for it now. So, but it needs to be financially beneficial to do it. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, it's all about life. I know this is a trucking backpacking channel, and kind of started out being a just this is my life kind of channel. I had ideas of building a camper van, and I was going to build a camper van and go live in a camper van, but